Well, hello and welcome to this week's weekly update. So, it's been spoken a lot over the last couple of years, and here we are. It's really a momentous occasion. It's put crypto on the map all over the world. We now have, as you know, institutions, banks, countries, high net worths, family offices, all running out towards Bitcoin. We know that the US are talking about having a Bitcoin reserve. There's other countries talk about doing the same now. Some countries are front running it by buying more Bitcoin. Put all this together, and you have this run towards Bitcoin. Let's just have a very quick look at the chart on this. If we just go back out to the daily, you'll see the last time when we had this trend that it was struggling to break through for many months. We did say that once it would break through, because it was in that consolidation period for so long, that once it would break hard. And we see initially here when it broke, it really broke hard, climbed. A bit of a consolidation time here, but again, we can see it. If we zoom into the 4 hour, we can see just how major it's been. And once again, we had this trend that was holding, obviously in this case, just for a number of days, and it has absolutely blown through now, created that all-time high of just over 104k. Of course, it's retraced a couple of thousand at the minute, but where to next? Does it come back down, test that line and take off, or does it come back in between the 190k level and bounce there for a while? Depending on what happens, if it's to take off, it's likely to suck the energy out of a lot of the other altcoins in the short term, but only to create an even bigger upswing when the time comes. Or maybe it comes back, takes a break here, and allows altcoins to run a little bit as well. Of course, some alts have done some nice movements in recent times. A lot of them, the dino coins, the dinosaur coins that have been there for 3, 4, 5 years. We'll touch on that a little bit later, but it's been an extraordinary move. Again, if you look at Bitcoin, this is a 1 year chart. It's up nearly 150% on the year, which is incredible for Bitcoin, and many believe it has much more to run. So certainly very interesting times at the minute. So why is all this going on? Well, like we said, there's people all over the world starting to buy in. But what would the weekly update be without talking about Michael Saylor and MicroStrategy? Yet again this week, bought another 1.5 billion worth of Bitcoin. This is truly incredible stuff. The amount they've bought at this stage is just mind-blowing. We can actually see the numbers here. They've bought, over they're holding 38 billion in value. That's actually probably ticked up over 40 billion at this stage. So from 38 up over 40, they're sitting on unrealized profits. Again, this is outdated. It's about a day old and it's already outdated. That's probably more like 16, 17 billion now that they're up. And you can see the buying they've done in the last 4 weeks. Obviously, they've done 1.5 billion worth in the last couple of days. But prior to that, they did 5.4 billion, 4.6 billion, and 2.03 billion week after week. This is just really incredible stuff. 13, 14 billion bought in the last month alone. So it's no wonder Bitcoin's going where it's going at the minute. On top of that, you have Martin Digital now getting in on the act as well, looking to raise 700 million just to buy Bitcoin, as you can see here. They now currently hold just shy of 35,000 Bitcoin. So they have the second largest Bitcoin holding out of any publicly traded company. But of course, comparison to MicroStrategy to drop in the ocean, but it's a very strong move. And of course, their share price has reacted accordingly and has really moved strongly off the back of this. So what Michael Saylor has proven with MicroStrategy, buy Bitcoin, allow people, put money in, buy Bitcoin, Bitcoin goes up, MicroStrategy goes up even more, and now other companies are looking at this all over the world. And of course, we know he went into Microsoft a few days ago, did a presentation to them on the benefits of buying Bitcoin. They have absolute crap tons of money in reserve. If they decide to convert some of that into Bitcoin, it's just going to be more massive buying pressure. Unbelievable. Here's a chart that's worth looking at. If you see here, this is the supply demand. So what you can see in here, the red boxes are MicroStrategy buying, which is just nuts. If you look at October and November, if you put the two of those together, the green boxes, which are ETFs, so everyone's talking about how bananas the much amount of money that's going into Bitcoin through ETFs. Well, MicroStrategy has nearly bought as much as the two of those together in just this month on their own. It's truly unbelievable. And again, you can see all the major buys for Bitcoin over the last 12 months. Of course, the ETFs have taken up huge chunks right throughout. And you can see again here, MicroStrategy has been buying right throughout. And now this Mara company are starting to buy into it too. So it's just more and more Bitcoin being bought up. And the beauty of this is these are long-term holders. These aren't people that are buying it today and when it hits 130k, they're going to sell it. Highly unlikely. These are buying it, putting it into their in as assets with the view to a long-term hold. So it's just Bitcoin being sucked out, the supply. If you reduce supply, they're taking the supply out of the market and locking it away. So that's a reduced supply. And at the same time, they're creating this massive demand as they buy it. So on top of all of this, we see another big metric that directs the direction of where the market might be going. And again, I think it's fairly clear where it's going at the moment. But the last time we looked at the stablecoin market, there was about 170 billion. This is only going back to the 20th of November. Already today, the stablecoin market is now just shy of 180 billion. It's an increase of over 9 billion in the last 2 weeks. The more stablecoin that's out there, that's more dry powder to go into the market and buy into crypto projects. So this is a huge amount of money that's sitting there that when people decide it's time to invest, that goes into the markets and drives prices up even higher. And I think this is a lot of this money is going to go into the altcoin market. So when the time is right, there's going to be an absolutely unbelievable pump. Of course, we're already seeing a lot of coins move. That's to be expected. But when altcoin season really kicks into gear, there's some of these will do 100% a day and much more. So make sure, again, you know what you want to have in your portfolio. Look at that portfolio videos that we've done. Look at that risk curve. Decide where you want to be. And, you know, maybe now's the time to be in if you're not already. And then this is a really interesting chart. The green is the number of Bitcoin on exchange. So obviously the more coins that are on exchange, typically people put their tokens onto exchange when they're ready to sell them. So obviously the more that's on there, the more sell pressure you would expect to see. Well, as you can see from this, going from February this year to now, there's less than half than what was on there now. So that's a massive reduction in supply in the market. But again, we've seen all the reasons why. And then we've got what we're calling the dino coins, the old coins that are out there. So IoT, Hedera, EOS, it's like a Chinese, was seen as the Ethereum killer back in its day. Raised huge money in its ICO. But many of these coins here, nothing has fundamentally changed about any of these projects. They're there with a really long time, but yet they've absolutely pumped over the last couple of weeks. Why is that? Well, the theory out there is this. People that have been out of the market, retail, so people that were in crypto during the last bull run, then the bear market came in, many sell out or just leave crypto altogether. They're not keeping an eye on anything that's going on. Suddenly here, Bitcoin's on an all-time high and they're going, oh yeah, I was in crypto, I had this wallet and I had this and this. They go back in and they go, right, it's time to get back involved here, let's go back. And they go back to the coins that they recognize. They recognize these coins from the last time they were involved in crypto. And so that's where they feel safe and that's what they buy. And so they've gone and bought those coins. But be careful. This is a great way of getting shaken out of the coins that you have conviction in. A lot of people will go, I'm in this one and this one, and they haven't moved yet. That's okay. But what you don't want to do is sell out the coins that you have high conviction on and now chase these pumps. That's a good way of not making money. So make sure that whatever you have, your conviction, your research, and your belief in projects, stick with those. Make sure you're well positioned. Diversify whatever way you feel is right, and just understand your own portfolio, the risk tolerance you're taking, the upside you're looking for. But don't get shaken out of your positions just because some of these older coins are going to run. I believe a lot of them will have a significant pullback. They'll still do well, but I think they'll have a pullback over time, and certainly not something I'd be running towards. There is really good stuff out there. We've spoken about an awful lot of it. We put out a video a couple of days ago again with some really good projects in there that are worth looking at. So there's a huge amount going on. You know, congratulations to everyone in the crypto space. Bitcoin's done it. It's got to its 100, over 100K. It's going to go beyond that. Where will it finish? Who knows? But the key part for everyone that's outside of Bitcoin or looking for potentially that bigger upside is when Bitcoin settles down, whenever that is. And it might take a breather here, or maybe not. Maybe it shoots straight to 150. But if it does that, it could quite potentially suck some of the energy out, give great buying opportunities within the altcoin sector, and prepare yourself for when Bitcoin does settle down and give you that opportunity again. Hope you found all that useful. Have a great weekend. We'll talk to you all very soon.